Good evening. I'm now unmuted. So, Reverend Michael McMorrow, coming to you live from the Center for Spiritual Living, from the sanctuary of the Center for Spiritual Living here in Granada Hills, located in the North San Fernando Valley, where we welcome all who practice their beliefs in faith and love. And so I welcome you to our healing and revealing meditation practice for this evening. So if this is your first time joining us, welcome. I think we're live streaming both on our YouTube channel and on Facebook, is that right? So if you're on Facebook, welcome. And so if you haven't been here before, we have a few things that we do ahead of time. We have an opening ritual, I have a reading, and then we have about 20 or 30 minutes of guided and then silent meditation. So if you've been wanting to meditate, here's your chance. And I'll just walk you through it, and we're going to have a forgiveness practice that's a little different than we normally do. And we're going to integrate a practice that I learned from a class that I took that is based in the teachings of Emma Curtis Hopkins. So let's just start then by taking a deep conscious breath. And just releasing and relaxing and allow ourselves to surrender to this eternal now moment as we come together for our call to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. So behind me you see a bunch of lit candles. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all faiths, all peoples, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. That fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this evening. So the first candle we have lit is for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. The second candle we light for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. The third candle we light for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. The fourth candle we light for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. The fifth candle we light for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. The eighth candle we light for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here at our center, in our online community, and within our own hearts. And as we light the healing candle, please put silently or speak aloud the names of anyone you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
I'm thankful, so grateful. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I surrender. I surrender. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I surrender. I surrender. I trust in God.
So taking a deep breath one more time and releasing, just allowing ourselves to use the breath to anchor us into this eternal now moment as we come together, knowing that there is but one power, one presence, one source, one life, one living intelligence, one infinite heart of the divine, impressing and expressing as all of life. It is the very wellspring of all compassion and loving kindness that it is within us, and that we are connecting with the indwelling Spirit in a conscious way, claiming and knowing that we are the individualized expression of the divine itself. And so is everyone else and everything else, all of creation, demonstrating as the activity of the divine mind. And so from this conscious union with the One, I'm knowing for myself and everyone listening that we are open and receptive to God's living Spirit of truth in this moment, that we are open and receptive to this meditation, however it unfolds, that even as we set our intention for this evening, we are also remaining open to allow this meditation just to unfold easily, without attachment as to how or what comes next or what's happening or how we're supposed to do it or how we're not doing it right, or I'm bored, or I'm this or I'm that. We're just releasing any attachment to all of that. And just allowing ourselves the free flow of meditation experience to make itself known this evening. So having set this intention, then we just take one more time a deep breath and exhale. And in that exhale, just know that we are releasing this and all of our cares and concerns of the day, that we're releasing all of it to that aspect of the mind of the divine itself that knows only to say yes. So in confidence and in gratitude, we release it to its divine unfoldment, knowing that it is done. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. So we've been working with, a little early for the Omen Bros. So we've been working with this book, Start Where You Are. Pema Chodron, she's a Zen teacher of really the highest caliber. Do I need to move this microphone down? Okay, so let me move this down. How's that? Better? Okay. All right. How's that? That'll save your ears. And I'll try not to breathe into it. So as I was saying, we're working with Start Where You Are. So we are almost complete with this book. And then we're going to be using Joel Goldsmith, probably starting in 2021. But if you recall, if you've been following us, that we were working with Train in the 3 difficulties was last week. So seeing neuroses as neurosis. The second thing is being willing to do something different. And the third difficulty is the aspiration to make this a way of life. So last week we looked at doing something different. And anything different would help, Pema said last week. Anything that is not habitual. So the idea is we're wanting to break out of our usual way of doing things. And what better way to do this? So we can use this being December 2nd now, right? So December 2nd. So the nights are going to continue to get longer as we move into the solstice, at least here in the northern hemisphere, which is the longest night of the year. And then the days will continue to grow day by day. They'll get days will get longer. So it's a magical time in many cultures. Certainly in Newgrange in Ireland, County Meath, Ireland, there's an ancient structure, some 5,000 years old, where at sunrise, the sunlight on that day reaches all the way back into this man-made cavern made of stone. It's a passage tomb, actually. So we use, when we can meet together, we do a spiral of light meditation as a kind of a universal solstice, Christmas remembrance. We won't be able to do that this year. But Mike and I are putting our heads together for a Christmas Eve service. That'll be 6 o'clock on Christmas Eve. That will do a combo Zoom live stream, so you can look for that. All right, so let's just see what Pema has to say as we finish up these last few pages of this book. We have 2 more chapters left. And it's simply continuing the way. So even if we see what to do, and even if we do something different, the third difficulty is that it's difficult to continue in this way, to cut habitual patterns of daily life. So whenever we see ourselves spinning off in some kind of habitual way, we could aspire to catch ourselves and to do something different as a way of cultivating compassion for ourselves and compassion for others. Don't be surprised or give up when it's difficult, because it's going to be difficult. That's why it became a habit to begin with. That's why we call it a habit. A slogan that encourages us, encourages practicing the 3 difficulties is 2 activities, one at the beginning and one at the end. At the beginning of our day, when we wake up, express our aspiration. May I practice the 3 difficulties. May I see what I do. When it happens, may I do something different. And may I continue this as a way of life for me. At the beginning of our day, using your own language, you could encourage yourself to keep your heart open, to remain curious no matter how difficult things get. At the end of the day, when you're just about to go to sleep, review the day. rather than using what happened as ammunition for feeling bad about yourself, about the whole day, how the whole day went by, and you never once remembered what you had aspired to do that morning. Just, give yourself a break. You can simply use it as an opportunity to get to know yourself better and to see all the funny ways in which you can trick yourself, all the ways in which you feel so good at zoning out and shutting down. If you feel like you don't want to practice the 3 difficulties anymore, it's like setting yourself up for failure. Generate a kind heart towards yourself. Reflecting over just one day's activities can be painful, but you may end up respecting yourself more because you see that a lot happened. You weren't just one way. Carl Jung said at the end of his life, "I'm astonished, disappointed, pleased with myself. I am distressed, depressed, and rapturous. I am all of these things at once and cannot add up the sum." And Pema calls this the big squeeze. Although we learn to listen to all these teachings, and you have all these practices as support, somehow it has become real for us. It has become digested by us. The teachings and practices are like orange juice concentrate. That thick orange stuff in the can in life is like the water. You have to mix it all together. And then you have good orange juice that you can bring out in that big pitcher for everyone to drink. And even though it came out of a can, you know that it's truly fresh squeezed. Yeah, I love me some Pema Chodron. It's kind of windy up here, which is good for allergies, but not so good for not coughing during a pandemic. All right. So shall we meditate? So in this idea of reviewing the day, so in the 12-step program, the 10th step is doing exactly that. That we take time to review our day. And the idea is that by taking the time to do this, and we don't have to carry things forward, right? So we're no longer, in this time of the holiday season, we don't have to be Jacob Marley dragging all our old stuff around behind us, right? That by working at paying attention to what we're doing something different, and then staying committed to making that a way of life. The interesting thing about that is we not only change our own life, we not only shift and lift the tendency of our own thinking from denser self-absorption to lighter equanimity for all, including ourselves. Right? But we not only raise our own life, but we raise the lives of those around us. And this is not to be minimized nor taken for granted. So your meditation practice, regardless of what you think about it, is important because it changes not only ourselves, right, but it is lifting those around us in our immediate world and even in the consciousness of the planet itself. I know that might sound kind of weird. This is the first time you've heard such things. But on reflection, I think you may see how this can be so. All right, so what we're going to do tonight, I'm going to take you into the meditation, and then we're going to be silent for about 15 minutes. And then we're going to try a new practice as we come out of that meditation. We're going to stay with the breath, and then we're going to look. We're going to open our eyes and we're going to look up. We're going to look up to, say, where the ceiling meets the wall. Right? So not up like this, but just up like this comfortably. And we're going to do that for about 5 or 10 minutes. And then we have a little exercise after that. So, all right, so a little bit different this tonight. All right, so starting together, let's just take a deep conscious breath in. And release. Get all our wiggles and jiggles out. Check our seat. Make sure we're nicely anchored and comfortable. Taking another deep breath all the way deep, 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 deep. Up to the top. Hold it. And then release. And then feel that release. And then just release the day with it. You can even vibrate that. Feel the vibration in the chest. That's it. Taking one more deep breath. And releasing. And so we're just bringing our attention to the movement of the breath in the nostril. If you bring your attention to the movement on the exhale, and so you see the mind begins to still. Following the breath. Breathing easily and naturally. And as that's available to you, see if you can bring your attention to the movement of your breath on the upper lip. thoughts arise. And so we're just observing that and releasing. We're not attaching to the thought. And in that observation, then, the thought cannot hook us. And if it does, just allow ourselves a quiet bemusement, and then we can take a deep breath and just release it. And then we just return back to the breath. So just doing a quick body scan. If we find places, starting with the feet, moving up the legs, into the knees, the sit bones, the tummy just is rising, just let it rise and fall. Just easily and naturally. Bring our attention to our sit bones. And then how's our lower back? We can just tuck our tailbone in. And again, just breathing easily and naturally. And with the idea being with each exhale, we're just releasing tension. So the sit bones anchored in the chair, the spine balanced over the sit bones, the head balanced over the spine, in a relaxed state, free of tension. Let's take a deep breath, and then on the exhale, we're going to release our shoulders. Deep breath. Release. Turn back to the breath. Back to the exhale. Release our facial muscles. Staying with the breath, not taking one more deep breath. And release as we move into the silence now for about 15 minutes. gently back into the room and continuing to stay with the breath. When you're ready, gently open your eyes and cast your gaze upward. Staying with the breath. Blink as you need to. And the idea is by lifting the gaze upward, you're looking beyond and above any current condition in your life that no longer serves you. Instead of looking at it square in the eye, you're lifting the eyes heavenward. And calling to mind the vision that you have for your life as you want it to be. Again, staying with the breath. Keeping your gaze held towards the heavens. Staying with the breath. So taking a deep breath and exhaling, just allowing ourselves to know that within us there is that flame of the divine within the heart center. And that as we cast our eyes heavenward, we continue to stay with the breath and knowing that we are opening the heart by fanning this flame of the divine within. That with each breath we feel our heart center opening just a wee bit more. Keeping our eyes towards the heavens. Just allow these words to be your own. This is our offering to the Spirit within. Here is my mind. Here is my mind. I spread it out before thee. Forgive its foolishness and ignorance with your bright wisdom. Here is my life. I offer it all to you. Forgive its contrariness to you. Taking a deep breath. Release. Here is my heart that is yours only. Forgive its restlessness and dissatisfaction. Forget its discouragement. Forget its resentments. Forgive its loves and its hates, its hopes and its fears. Taking a deep breath. Release. Here is my body. I cast it down before you. Forgive its imperfection with your perfection. Forgive me altogether with yourself. Gift for myself by thyself. Taking a deep conscious breath and release. So I surrender any old ideas, any old ways of thinking about my life that no longer serve me. I forgive any old ideas about love, about money, creativity, even God itself. I surrender all of it now. Just knowing together that there is but one power, one presence, one source, one life, one indwelling spirit. This spirit is everywhere present. There is no spot where God is not, and so right where I sit, God is. And so I now surrender to the indwelling spirit, knowing that I am being raised even more in consciousness, that I am up-leveling my consciousness, my conscious connection with the divine. That I leave this meditation practice tonight knowing that I have been shifted, moved, opened, expanded in my awareness of the Spirit in my life, the Spirit expressing as love, as loving kindness, compassion, as abundance, as enoughness, that I have enough to sustain myself, I have enough to share. That I see now with the eyes of the Spirit, I recognize all peoples as my brothers and sisters. I recognize myself, my authentic self, with all its warts, free of self-judgment or recrimination. Taking a deep breath. I feel a deep sense of self-acknowledgement in an authentic way that is free of the ego, of boastfulness, of striving of any kind. Recognizing there is that within me that is both light and shadow. That I surrender all of it now to the indwelling light of Spirit. I feel a sense of restoration, of completion, of wholeness in this moment. Taking a deep breath. I release all of it now into that aspect of the mind of the divine itself. With gratitude and deep confidence. Knowing that I have been shifted and lifted. That my insight has been attuned with the insight of the divine, that I see beyond the world of conditions and focus on the greatest yet to be. That I feel a sense of peace, of harmony and empowerment in this knowledge. And so as I leave this practice tonight and prepare myself through the evening, I allow myself, when I hit the pillow, to drift off easily and effortlessly into sleep, that I sleep deeply and restfully, dreaming sweet dreams, that I awaken feeling refreshed, revitalized, full of vim and vigor and excitement for the day, that I take this energy, this divine impulse, to do good in my life, do good as my life, and that in raising my own life, I'm raising those around me. Taking a deep breath, I just release it, knowing that it is done, knowing it is so. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. So a little different ending tonight. So that was inspired by Emma Curtis Hopkins and presented by Reverend Dr. Kathy Ann Lewis, who is the spiritual director up at Center for Spiritual Living in Seattle, Washington. So we can thank her for that. So on Sundays, if you don't have a spiritual community, you can join us here at 10:30 on Sunday mornings. And I'll be joined here with our assistant minister, Reverend Nancy Woods, and our music director, Mr. Ken Francis, and our buddy, Jason Goldstein will be joining us, and a special musical guest, John Silvers, on Sunday. So join us for that. And for all of you who have joined us in the Facebook Giving Tuesday yesterday, so we almost made our goal of $5,000 between Reverend Nancy's page and my own. I think we're just a few $100s short of that. And we still have commitments coming in to that, which will be applied to the matching donation. And so I'll have a special announcement about that on Sunday when you join us. And so until then, just go in peace. Know that you are loved. And peace and blessings, and I'll see you on Sunday.